Yo, what is going on, guys? Matthew V. Haynes, aka the Clockmaster. Today we're going to be doing a video on the top 10 MCU fan theories. Okay, so we're kind of out of the endgame phase. We've already seen everything, so a lot of the hype for the MCU and stuff is kind of starting to die down, but it's never dying down for me, man. I'm always excited about the future, especially with some Disney Plus shows on the way, some announcements for that. We just had D23 Expo. We got a lot of stuff coming forward, so I'm very still much excited for the future of the MCU, and especially with news, you know, like Spider-Man leaving the MCU and all that kind of stuff like that. There's just no way the MCU is dying down, so I still feel like this video is relevant right now, and I wanted to make a video like this for today. So if you guys are watching this video today, thank you for coming and watching. Please consider subscribing if you are the first time on this channel. Also, don't forget to check out my community tab. We're gonna have a lot of scheduled stuff going on the next few weeks, or just going forward in the future in general. So if you want to see what videos I have coming up for the rest of the week, please feel free to check that out. So let's just get straight into this video, man. I don't want to ramble on too long. Let's go. Just to clarify, I did not make any of these theories up. They're fan theories. I'm getting a lot of this from Screen Rant and some other sources, so just bear that in mind. There's none of these theories I made up myself. Number 10, a cosmic focus. So there's a theory that we're going to be seeing a lot more things focused on the cosmic side of the Marvel universe. We had that with Guardians of the Galaxy. As a matter of fact, first we started out with Thor, then we had Guardians of the Galaxy, and then Captain Marvel, and Thanos and Endgame and Infinity War, and just kind of tying all that stuff in together. So we kind of got to see a little bit of what's outside of Earth and what's out there in general, and especially with Guardians of the Galaxy, they were traveling all over the place. We got to see so many different types of people, so many different types of alien races. So there's a theory that's just going to be focused more on the cosmic side of the MCU, more specifically with Captain Marvel and Brie Larson, and going forward with her, because she's all over the universe, especially in the comic books. She's everywhere, so I personally can't wait to see that, and I think that they're going to be going in that direction as well. Especially now we have the Eternals rolling into things within the next 2 years. We're going to be having the Eternals, so it's gonna be a lot of intergalactic stuff going on. It's gonna be a lot of fun. P.S. I'm wearing a Batman shirt. Don't get mad at me. Number 9 is Falcon taking on the mantle as Captain America. So we can kind of sort of debunk this, because Anthony Mackie stated that he's still going to be Falcon and he's not necessarily replacing Captain America. So we still have yet to see what's going to happen with him and his character going into his Disney Plus series, Falcon and Winter Soldier. So maybe he might still call himself Falcon while wielding the shield. Because we saw at the end of Endgame, Captain America handed the shield onto Sam Wilson. Bucky gave his approval to say, okay, he deserves it more than I do, which is a little bit more of a controversy surrounding that topic, but the mantle was passed. So there's still some stuff that needs to be clarified with that, but according to Anthony Mackie, he's still going to be Falcon. He's not necessarily going to be Captain America, even though in the comics he was Captain America essentially for a short period of time. So that's going to be a lot of interesting, a lot of fun going to exploring what's happening with his character. Number 8 is the A-Force. So this is also a controversial thing for some people, because there was more of people are calling it a fan servicey thing, but all the female characters showed up that we've seen so far in the MCU, showed up to kind of gang up on Thanos towards the end of Endgame. I personally really enjoyed that scene. Some people called it overly feminist, some people call it over the top and unnecessary, but I didn't think it was unnecessary. I found that scene very cool, and I in particular really love the Marvel female heroes, and I love seeing them kick butt, so I thought that seems a lot of cool. But going forward, people are believing we're going to see it's like a separate thing focused on the A-Force and related to the comic book characters, and just kind of having like their own little female squad. Some people may not like that. Some people may say it's forced feminism or whatever, but that's up to you to decide how you want to accept that. But I think it's cool. Number 7, the new Avengers. So a lot of people have been predicting the new Avengers, including myself. I really was looking forward to this, especially seeing Tom Holland take another role as kind of filling Tony Stark's shoes. But now we got an announcement, obviously the sad news that as I mentioned earlier in the video, I brought it back up, but Spider-Man is no longer going to be in the MCU as of right now, and they're not really seeing him in the foreseeable future. So it's kind of a bummer to not see him interact with the new Avengers, but there's a theory that there's going to be a brand new Avengers team separated from the MCU. Now, there's also some other theories that they mentioned later, that the MCU may not even see another Avengers movies for a long time. They may focus on solo films. So that is okay as well. But as far as the new team, it's gonna have like a new Avengers team focused specifically on the remaining characters. We have Black Panther, we have Captain Marvel, we have a whole bunch of other characters that we can include in this list here. So as to who's to lead the team, a lot of people say Captain Marvel. I personally think she can lead the team, but also T'Challa is also there, so I think he is also a very good fit to lead on the team. Number 6, ASGARDIANS of the Galaxy. So Thor's fate is still kind of in the wind. He hasn't really solidified himself as what he is in this universe. Is he gonna be a god? Is he gonna, well, he's a god, but is he gonna be a king? Is he gonna be a leader? Is he gonna be a this? We saw that he handed on his mantle of king of the Asgardians to Valkyrie, and he handed that on to her. So you saw him leave off with the Guardians of the Galaxy. So there's a theory that he's just, they're gonna create a whole different series surrounding that, and maybe in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 we may be seeing Thor hanging out more with the group, him kind of putting his force within the team and kind of making a little thing for himself and kind of enjoying himself outside of Earth, kind of doing a little space exploration, which I think is going to be cool, man. His dynamic and his relationship with Chris Pratt, I think is very funny. Star-Lord, I think their little banter and their rapport on screen is really interesting and really cool. Like this power struggle, who's going to be the leader of the team and all that. We saw that at Endgame, and I personally very much will look forward to seeing something like that. Number 5, prequel galore. So there's going to be a lot of prequels according to some of these theories from people. We know that Black Widow is going to be a prequel, and there's also a rumor going around that Robert Downey Jr. is set to appear in this film, reprising his role as Tony Stark, obviously before he passed away. It's going to be a little heart-wrenching to see that, but it's going to be great to see Robert Downey Jr. back on screen as Iron Man. But lots of prequels, man. We got that with Captain America and First Avenger. We got that with a couple other scenes there, and then now we're going to be getting at with Black Widow, and I think that's going to be really cool. We got that with Captain Marvel as well, and seeing how the prequel, they can tie in some loose ends, maybe create some other things that kind of explains why certain things, especially if they don't need to be explained, because a lot of people are still upset as to how Nick Fury, got his eye removed, or why he's wearing an eye patch. Some people are very upset about how they handle that part of the story and prefer that element of the story be left unknown and left to mystery and left for the fans to kind of figure out how that happened. So there's pros and cons to prequels, but I sometimes like them depending on certain things, but me seeing a Black Widow prequel is just gonna hurt me more, because I know she's not alive anymore in the MCU. I know she's not around. I know we're not gonna see her again unless some Marvel movie magic happens and she somehow comes back like Black Canary in Arrow somehow like 5 times. There's some other dimension where Black Widow exists, and then she comes from another multiverse, and then somehow, that's another theory I'm creating, somehow comes back and she's back again. I don't know, man. But other than that, me seeing prequels is gonna be kind of cool, but also very sad and disappointing. But we're gonna get introductions to other characters like the Guardian, Red Guardian, and some other characters. Number 4, alternate realities. So as I mentioned before, there could be possibilities of the multiverse being introduced. He kind of had a little tease of that in Spider-Man Far From Home. But then again, it was turned out to just all be something made up from Mysterio, spoiler alert. But the whole thing with Loki, he's having a series coming out, so that could be taken on in real time with him, after when he escaped through using one of the Infinity Stones to get to leave his arrest when they went back in time. So it's just like all these other possibilities of alternate realities are out there, and it's going to be really interesting to see how Marvel handles that, because the whole time travel concept, which I'm still not really a fan of how they handled it, it kind of goes against the popular way how people deal with time travel, like how they do in The Flash or Back to the Future, some other popular shows that deal, or movies that deal with time travel. They kind of went something a little bit different that I personally haven't seen or read about. So it's interesting to kind of see how they mess around with this type of concept of time travel and alternate reality. So I'm looking forward to see something like that if they do it in the future. Number 3, new characters. So this is not more or less a theory, but some facts to this as well. We got characters, as I mentioned, Red Guardian is going to be coming through Black Widow, so we may be seeing him going forward into the future. Some characters from Shang-Chi. We're going to have Shang-Chi and his whole list of characters introduced to us. The Eternals. We're getting some more new characters introduced to us already. We're going to be getting Kate Bishop's Hawkeye coming on Disney Plus. So we got a lot of stuff in the MCU coming. But another great theory when it comes to new characters is Captain Britain. It's really cool to see Captain Britain, man. He can kind of be sort of a temporary Captain America replacement, to kind of give you that little Captain America vibe. But you know, it'd be really cool to see that. I mean, we're already kind of getting that with Red Guardian sort of being a clone of Captain America already, so we're kind of already going to see someone with very similar powers. So it's going to be interesting to see how they handle it. But I want to see personally Captain Britain step in on the scene. Number 2, who is the next big bad? So after Thanos, a lot of people are asking, who the hell's gonna be the next big bad? Some people are saying for cosmic related things, we can have obviously Galacticus, we can have Kang the Conqueror, or even on Earth, maybe we can have Doctor Doom, or even somebody simple as Norman Osborn. But I don't think we're gonna see Norman Osborn anymore, obviously, because of the whole MCU Spider-Man debacle. But the quest to find the brand new big bad is now underway. Who's going to be the next? Because the Infinity Saga, the whole Infinity War saga took years to plan, and they just got through everything. So I personally feel they're going to want to take a break before they try to set up that next big bad. Because there's going to be like another 10 years, another 10 years, man. I'm going to be in my mid-30s around that point. So it's just like, you know, it's going to be a long time before we see any of that happen, which I'm totally okay with waiting, man. I don't mind waiting for them to release this stuff and take their time telling their stories, because they already did that with, you know, this last 11-10 years of Marvel films, all these 23 films. It took a long time making everything and kind of connecting this entire world together. So I don't mind them taking their time in doing that. Number 1, no more Avengers. So while there is a possibility for a new Avengers, there's also a possibility, according to some of these fan theories, for them to be no Avengers at all, especially within the next 10 to 15 years. And the reason is, as I mentioned before, earlier and throughout this video, and also in the last one, is that they spent so much time culminating this entire story and this entire franchise, and from the beginning to where we left off in Endgame. So they're gonna kind of want to let that sit down for a little bit, work on the solo films, work on the solo projects, maybe have little crossovers here and there. Maybe one movie we may see Kate Bishop show up somewhere in Eternals, who knows? Or maybe we see Falcon and Bucky show up somewhere, maybe in Hawkeye or WandaVision or one of those other MCU shows that are coming out, or even She-Hulk or Moon Knight. So they can kind of maybe do little crossovers in between. But another Avengers film, and I personally think this as well, we may not see that for a very long time. That could be far off. That could be years into the future. A lot of you kids gonna be adults by that time happens. A lot of adults are going to be grandparents by the time that happens. So it's like a lot of time. I personally believe a lot of time is going to happen. There's a rumor though that the next Avengers film is set to come out somewhere between 2022 and 2025. So that's not too far off, but again, it's still a rumor. I don't think anything's been confirmed. If it has been confirmed, correct me in the comments down below, and let me know if they've already confirmed another Avengers film. But we've already seen the layout for the next few movies in the next phase. We already know we still have Blade to introduce into this world, because he's already been confirmed for phase 5. We have so many other new characters to introduce and kind of rebuild this post Endgame story of the MCU. A lot of people, it's gonna be kind of hard to not, to see an Avengers movie without our main characters, or not even see them for a while. But it's totally okay. We still have another Black Panther movie coming out. We got so much great things to look forward to, and so many little mini crossovers that we can work with, because again, the MCU shows on Disney Plus are connected to the same universe, so they can also cross into the films as well. So we have a great future planned ahead of us, guys. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed these little fan theories. Like I said, I did not make a lot of these theories. I've added some of my own opinions to them, but the core of these theories, I did not make that. Again, I got this from Screen Rant and some other sources online for fan theories, because I know some of you guys wanted to see me discuss some fan theories for the MCU. So that's gonna, I had a lot of fun talking about this and some of the predictions for the future of the MCU. If you guys have any video suggestions for next week's schedule or any time in the future, let me know down below, and I'll probably try to, if it makes sense to add, I'll probably add it to my list. Please make sure to subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Clockmaster out.